Do you see the big difference between this side and this side? In this video, I'll be sharing with you the difference between contour and bronzer and which one is right for you. So when you look at your face, it has dimension. So some areas are lighter and some areas are darker. For instance, we conceal at the center of our face to brighten it up because those are the areas on our skin that are lighter. But we contour and bronze on the areas of our face that have shadows to bring dimension back to our skin because those are the areas on our skin that are darker. The main difference between bronzer and contour is that contour is used to shape your face and to define your natural face structure. As you can see on my skin right now, with foundation, my skin looks flat. There's no structure or dimension on my skin. So we use contour to bring back that structure. Bronzer, on the other hand, is what adds warmth onto our skin because when we apply foundation and concealer, our skin loses that warm color that we naturally have. So we use bronzer to bring it back. Bronzer could be glowy, it can be matte, or it could be shimmer. But the most important thing about bronzer is that it should warm up your skin. So those are the main differences between contour and bronzer. Now, when it comes to contour, it can be a little bit intimidating, but it gets easier when you know your face shape. If you want to really define contour, you want to opt for a shade that is maybe like 3 or 4 shades darker than your skin tone. And if you want more of like a softer and natural contour, then I would say get one that's like 1 or 2 shades darker than your skin. Some of my favorite contours are the black Opal foundation stick. So you can use a foundation stick as a contour. And you can also use a concealer as a contour. And I really like this iconic London concealer in the shade Mahogany. You can also use a cream or powder foundation for a contour, and I really like this MAC Cosmetics cream to powder foundation. And lastly, one of my favorite contour palettes is the True Complexion contour palette in the shade Dark to Deep. I really like that one because it's affordable and it has a bronzer within the palette as well. So when applying your contour, you want to start off by feeling the bone structure to know where to place that contour. Once you feel that, you want to place the contour right where the bone is so it can help define that structure. And you also want to place a little bit of contour on your forehead because your forehead has a little bit of darkness, and also on your jawline because you also have that bone structure right there. You can use a sponge or a brush depending on the type of contour you're using. You always want to start by blending your contour upwards and outwards towards your hairline. This will give you more of that lifted look rather than making your face look droopy. So if you blend your contour downwards, it won't give you that sharp structure that you're looking for with a contour, and it will make your face look kind of saggy, and you don't want that. When blending the contour on your forehead, you want to make sure that you're blending it towards your hairline. After applying the contour with a brush, I like going in with a beauty blender to help absorb the excess product and make the contour look skin-like. So when it comes to bronzer, you want to pay attention to your undertone. If you have a warmer undertone, you want to use a bronzer that is more so golden, and then if you have a cooler undertone, you want to use a bronzer that is like peachy or like a rose gold color. But for bronzer, you want it to be like 1 or 2 shades darker than your skin so that it looks really nice, seamless, and natural. So some of my favorite bronzers are powder bronzers and liquid bronzers. I really like this HUDA Beauty GloWish bronzer. This is the shade Rich 05. It's really nice and warm, and this is a perfect red colored bronzer. Next bronzer is this Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Mocha Mami. This one is really rich and pigmented, and this is perfect for people with like cool undertones. Then a really affordable bronzer that I really like is the Makeup Revolution Splendor Glow Bronzer. So this is a matte bronzer, and this is in the shade Dark. And you can use a liquid as a bronzer, so I would use a concealer, or you can use a liquid bronzer. One of my favorites is this iconic London sheer bronzer, and I really like this bronzer because it's a sheer bronzer, so it's very natural, and it's also perfect for people with warm undertones. So for bronzer, I like using a tapered brush, and this one is the Morphe M527 brush. So when you're applying the bronzer, you want to focus it on the highest points of your bone structure. This should be above the contour, so the top of your cheekbone and on your jawline. But unlike contour, where you blend the contour upwards and outwards, you want to focus on blending the bronzer inward, but you also want to do it in a sweeping motion. You want to sweep it because it gives you more of that natural look rather than packing it on with pigment, because bronzer is supposed to soften up your skin. And you also want to build up the pigment. So don't go in with too much, just pick up a little bit and build up the pigment. So for a complete makeup look, you want to combine both of them because they both have totally different functions. Bronzer can be used as a replacement for a contour if you're going for a very natural makeup look, but you just want to select one that is darker than your skin tone to really help structure your face. So if you're going to combine both, then you want to place the bronzer above the contour and blend out the harsh lines so that it has a seamless transition and you don't see any separation between the two. As you can see, my skin is structured. You can see the warmth of my skin has been added, so it looks naturally sun-kissed and my skin doesn't look pale or flat. This is why combining both is best. But remember, it's not only about knowing the difference between bronzer and contour. The most important thing is knowing your face shape and how to apply it based on that. And I found that without knowing this, you can't properly apply bronzer or contour. That's why you can't ignore this video right here, because in this video, I go over all the different face shapes and how to apply blush based on your face shape.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.